What's going on, Ophiuchus? How are you guys out there? Hope you guys are all well. Welcome to Ophiuchus and me. I appreciate you guys for stopping by here with me today to see what's good, see what's going on. I appreciate all of you guys, old and new. Hope you like, hope you stay, hope you enjoy the reading. It is Saturday, July 18th, 3:36 p.m. Shabbat Shalom to all of you guys. All praises to the Most High Power, YHWH. That's the way I rock. That's the way I roll. And if you do as well, let's get it. Let's go. Let's pick up on some energy, shall we? So, if this is your first time here, I do Oracle, I do Index, I do 3 decks of Tarot. But since this is a Sabbath, I incorporate a 4th deck by the name of Rodamundi. At the very end, I'll pull 3 cards and read from the book. All right. So, you guys, let's get started. I'm going to pull from 2 different oracles today. All right. So, we're going to use this one and the higher self today, too. All right, guys, here we go. First oracle. Let's see what we get. All right, a new sprout. And I see nothing but hummingbirds. So there's a message here. Okay, even for myself. Rest in peace to my mother because she loved little hummingbirds. So, a new sprout. Something is about to take off. And it's so ironic and crazy because how this card is so colorful with all like the neon spectrum of color. The card right after it has the same type of energy. And I painted my nails today too. So something is very colorful. Maybe you're starting to see things more colorful or something like that. Not too sure. Maybe you're an artist. You're starting to use different types of colors or I don't know, something to do with color or maybe just, summertime, you're starting to wear more colors or something like that. Okay. Space time weaver. So I'm gonna just say you know how to alchemize, like energies very well. Okay. Or in between realms, or uh, you just know how to use your energy very well. Okay. So let's see what we get. Like you're about to create something, maybe, something new is coming to you from another space realm, maybe. and you've gotten the download or the dream or something, spectacular, and you're going to bring it to fruition here. And it's going to, yeah, because like she's holding her hands up, and the energy is coming straight down to her third eye there. So, like I said, it's a message somewhere for you, somewhere that you're going to find. It's going to come to you. And yeah, you'll know what to do with it. So, here is the second oracle deck that I'm going to pull from. It's called the Higher Self Oracle. The first one is called Spiral Oracle. So I'm only going to pull one card from this deck. I'll show you the bottom deck card, but I'm not going to put it up here with these two. All right. So at the bottom, I have worry. That is a natural emotion, We all worry from time to time. But we could pick and choose what we want to put that much energy into in terms of worrying, Is it really worth worrying about, Or are we just, overly concerned with it in the wrong type of way? I don't know how I'm really trying to word that, but is it really worth worrying, stressing yourself, I guess, more or less is what I'm trying to say, like there's nothing to worry about, unless someone's like in danger or something, something terrible happens. Well, considering that it flew out in reverse, it's like I want to keep it in reverse, but the oracles really kind of don't work that way. So there's been some level of confusion, something that you're worried about, something that's on your mind. Does it have something to do with the information that you received? Because all this energy up here in the head area. So, or maybe you're confused on what it is that you saw in your dream space and how to bring it to fruition, or there's something here. Maybe it's like a split message. You know what I mean? However, let's rock and roll with it. Yeah, at the bottom, acceptance. Let's just accept. Let's accept this energy and rock and roll. All right, guys. So we have here a new sprout. And that's the very first card of the definition book. All right, guys. So it says here, a new sprout. There are moments of my ancestors living in me. I'm sorry, I can't read today. That's that Mercury retrograde. And I could see there are memories of my ancestors living in me. I honor these memories, and I also appreciate the personal resources they developed that helped them survive and navigate different circumstances in their lives. Resources that like a treasure they passed on to take care of me and to protect me. I bring to light this truth, and I understand that for them, it was necessary to live with these strategies. However, now they have become for me a burden of outdated resources, an old paradigm that is not my essence. It is these ancient beliefs that at this very moment I must release. Perfectionism, self criticism, high expectations, negative internal dialogue, and being self demanding are consequences of this paradox, leading to expectations and judgments by society. Fearing error, ridicule, and failure is a guarantee that life will pass me by. So, what does success mean to me? Wow, that was a lot, guys, in one card. It also says allowing and vulnerability. Okay. Today, I enjoy new and curious aspects of my humanity, celebrating facets that I once rejected or hid. Today, I appreciate that the wonder of being human is due, in part, to my fragility, ridiculousness, and my differences. A weight is lifted within me, and without forcing change, I gently allow myself to be whoever I am. Vulnerability, I welcome you because today you are a force that makes me strong. I enjoy myself. I stumble, I make mistakes, and I fail. I laugh at myself, at the character I have created, and an old tension dissipates. My heart rate decreases, my anxiety fades away. I lighten my life, and finally, my inner judge takes a well deserved vacation. So it's like you're sprouting, you know, into who you are, your own personal being. You're taking on the colors of life, the colorful experiences, all of those things. Okay. You honor the memories of your past and your ancestors and so on and so forth. But you are also creating your own story, you know. No need to be perfect. None of that. Just allow, right? Allowing vulnerability, right? Just allow. And the confusion, I'm not too sure exactly what all that's about, but let's tap in here with the space time weaver. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Let's move forward here. Yeah, space and time. I was talking about the way that your elders did it before you, you know, resources and the way that they had to live and things that they passed down to help you. But you don't really align with all of that necessarily, all of it, or they lived in a different time, I guess. So you're like I said, paving your own way or something like that. So here we have Space Time Weaver. Today, life woke me up from a great slumber. Uh, Lethargy of dark and cold times that were in fact perfect and allowed the light that inhabits this very moment to shine brighter. I take off an archaic mask. I observe all the judgments I make and all the things I didn't give myself. I stop labeling my emotions as good or bad. With newfound awareness, I embrace the fact that emotions simply are. They are natural expressions of an inner reality or of a need. I now look at my life as a living fabric with its patterns, figures, and colors. I appreciate the beautiful and subtle piece of art I have been creating. I incorporate new and diverse colors into my fabric. I integrate in me what I had previously separated, thus allowing my wings to open. So maybe some of you guys cut off the world, didn't want to be bothered, all, the interactions of things, you know, um, relationships, and, just the energy. And now you're trying to come back alive and feel the colors and, you know, or whatever. I embrace my variety, loving myself and feeling proud of myself. So it says here at the bottom, tenderness. I allow what is happening to me to flow and tenderly embrace the complexity of my emotions. Looking at my path differently means being gentle with myself. It requires understanding, giving in sometimes. I'm sorry, guys. Giving in sometimes and rethinking with the most beautiful imagination. I'm rooted in the certainty that there is still much love to be lived. I like that. Much love to be lived. It didn't say much life to be lived. It's all about the love. I'm here with the confusion or some confusion about something or someone. And the energy is right here. So let's see what they want to tell us here. It says confusion is a word we have invented for an order which is not understood. Right now, the guidance of your higher self is being drowned out by the mental chatter of your ego. While the ego is rational and logical, it is a mental system created by fear and instinct and doesn't always acquiesce to the wisdom of love, which is the spiritual genetics of your higher self. Your higher self speaks quietly, but contains the intelligence of your heart and your spirit, which will help cut through the confusion you are now experiencing. Currently, there is a situation in your life that needs clarity. You may be trying to understand why you were let go from a job, or why you weren't promoted. Or perhaps you're trying to grapple with unforeseen financial difficulties and need clarity and assistance. Further, you may be struggling with an illness or need help understanding the root cause and finding an appropriate healing treatment. This card is asking you to be still and tune in to your higher self, since it contains the knowledge you need to help you along this path. Your higher self is present and reachable, but only if you relinquish the mental chains of fear, confusion, and indecision. Your higher self alone may not be able to solve the problem immediately, but it will provide you comfort through understanding, which will help you tackle obstacles wisely. So there's something that you're trying to work through, there's something that's not coming through to you, you know, in an obvious way. Or you can't understand why something has to be a certain way, you know. And I'm thinking it has something to do with what the first card was saying, you know. Like, you don't want to do things the ancestors' way, your elders' way. You want to pave a new way. And you're operating out of love. It said, right. What did that say? And live love. What is that? Exactly. I forgot that fast. Right. There is still much love to be lived. So there's different ways to show love. There's different ways to show up, you know. But ultimately, everything is better with love. Uh, Definitely, you know. So, um, yeah, move forward with, you know, an open heart. Okay, an open mind, all of that. But I guess you are. Maybe that's what it is. Like, you're in such a space where, I don't know, maybe you're throwing other people off with the way that you're doing things. Maybe other people are confused as to why you are doing things so differently, or I don't know. Let's see what we get for the index cards. Thank you for being patient. Like, you want to express yourself loudly, you know. I got a read like that the last time I did a reading, something about colors. Like, you want to live how you want to live, like, not how your grandparents lived, you know. I'm not saying there was anything wrong with that, but like, you're trying to, you know, like, you're vamping it, revamping it. you sing in a choir. La 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 la. It's all right. Put your faith in the Most High. All right. Don't waste no time. A relationship counselor. You could be uh, wanting to go talk to a counselor or thinking about becoming a relationship counselor. helping people get through their difficulties. Okay. Okay, so now let's get the locations out here. I don't think you're totally eliminating, the ancestors' way or, old remedies or anything like that. Like things that are useful, of course, you're not going to, you know, uh, talk down upon them or whatever. But it's some sort of principle or something, and you just don't really agree all the way with, a way of doing something. So you want to spice something up, create a new version, create a new avenue. You could be from Senegal or what right to visit. All right, guys, we got a lot of location cards out here. Let's get this party started. We're still in new moon energy, I believe, too, also, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Wine tasting. Maybe you come from, a family that doesn't believe in drinking or something like that, or I don't know. You have elderly parents. Your ancestors, your elders, people before you. Sewing, learning a new skill. Don't let it go to your head, no. And that's Gene Carn. And then the brand new heavies for Cleo Soul. Don't miss that opportunity. Veterinarian. Don't let them fool you. You ready for prime time? EMT on the way. What's your emergency? Something is right underneath your nose. And you're such a delight to be around. Maybe a long bubble bath is something that is needed. Show Mickey we're lucky, bitch. Rest in peace to my mom, my grandma. If you know, you know. Just show Mickey we're lucky, bitch, honey. Show up. Show out. Show him what you're made of. Surrender to the powers that be, but not really the powers that be. I mean, the powers that be are the powers that are. The real power. The Most High. YHWH. And his angels. That's the real power. You're very stylish here. Your color could be orange, so I think we're gonna pick that today. You're a real romantic. Well, maybe not that deck. It has a lot of naked people on it. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it. Soul food lover. Accept the past and let it go. Invitation to meet the friends and the family. You could be a massage therapist, or you need to go and see a massage therapist. You're ready for a solid commitment. There is no limit to the things that you can or can't do. All right, tell them you need some space. There's no limit to the things that you can do. I guess we all have things that we can't do also, but whatever. I'm in control. Janet Jackson. Yeah, you're in control. You know, you're in control. It's your path. Go on though and cry and let it out if you need to. Give it to God. God loves you. You have these angel numbers, synchronicities everywhere you've been seeing lately, and lucid dreaming right there. Motivate self today. You like exercising outdoors. You could have your PhD, Doctor of Philosophy, Doctorate of Philosophy. Second Corinthians 7:1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of YHWH. There's only one we should fear. But if you're doing what you need to be doing, there's nothing to really fear. You're doing good. You're goal orientated. Maybe you have been dealing with insomnia lately. All the changes in the universe and the planets and whatnot. Living in a cloud, you have a rabbit or rabbits, I don't know, as a pet or pets. Nobody will ever love you like you. St. Luke 1:37. For with God nothing shall be impossible. Right. There's no limit to the things that you can do with God, with Yahweh, YHWH. Some say Yahuwah, I say Yahweh. Potato, potato. Okay. Riding bikes or motorcycles. Highway patrol. Maybe you're highway patrol on a bike, or maybe that. I don't know. I don't even put that energy out there. Maybe you saw a lot of highway patrol today or something. Fishing. The streets are talking. Let them bark. Somebody's trying to manipulate the situation. And we have your Aquarius energy. Inspired or inspiring. You influence many. God chose you to receive a new home. Just keep moving accordingly. You already move accordingly. So get up and move your body and don't get stiff. God made it happen. Continue. PhD, 2 times around. Doctor of Philosophy. Doctorate of Philosophy. So maybe you're on your way, or maybe you are um, already a doctor. And here, you're multi-talented. You know a lot of things. You can play an instrument also. You could be from China, live in China, or would like to visit Tennessee, Peru, Aruba, Colorado, Norway, the Philippines, or there's something in the news that you'll hear about. One of these areas, maybe, possibly also Costa Rica, Bolivia, El Paso, Kansas, Boston, Cleveland, Ohio, Australia, Russia, San Diego, Alaska, Arizona, Czechoslovakia, New Orleans, Nola. Is that how you say it? No, Nola, right? Yeah, New Orleans. Or New Orleans, Samoa, Zambia, and North Carolina. All right, let me go get my other little text. We get started. Give me a second. All right, here we go, guys. You're in control, though. Okay. You're taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that from the things that come from your past, your lineage, your elders, but you're going to put a twist on it. You're going to move from a space of love. You're going to do something differently than what you've known or what you've seen. Maybe you were always colorful and the energy and your elders and things around you were not. They're kind of boring or something. I'm trying to find a way to even incorporate them into, this new way of being, living, experiencing life, receiving light, energy, life codes. All right, here we go. the the confusion, right? Disappointed about something. The moon energy. Releasing the old, trying something new, trying something different. The lotus energy there, like I said, coming out of a world that wasn't that bright, and you want to showcase your energy, your knowledge, your something. You have what it takes. You're on fire. The wisdom is at the bottom. This is also the world card. Okay. So wrapping up one space, but not forgetting the knowledge and things, and trying to incorporate a new way from a new way, a new way for the new wave. You know what I mean? So, um, you have, and maybe it's just, maybe it's heavy energy of some sort. We're dealing with a lot of that right now. Culturally speaking, nationality wise, information and things that are coming up to the surface that are, um, I don't know how to say it. You're just here, and it's not changing. It's not going to change. So we have to learn how to come into a new space, a new code, a new energy flow. Um, Still be able to find the color and the colorful space, you know, um, throughout it all. Be able to shine and be able to help others also get through the muddle, because uh, energy is very real and we all could feel energy. Um, but like I said, love, yes, the emotions overall, love and respect top everything at the end of it. So, knowing how much tension and confusion and all this other energy that's going around us constantly, you know, it's going to take all of you to present yourself for others to basically hear you, to hear where you're coming from, and to stop a form or stream of some sort of confusion about something somewhere. Also to break a generational curse in a sense, or um, try to prevent. the wrong types of energy, you know, being directed at you. You want to like, kind of rearrange the way that you present yourself, recreate yourself, new moon, throw all that old ass energy out, show up differently, something like that. You want to show up differently. You're tired of being attached to something that doesn't really resonate with who you are, but you've been playing a role also, or something like that. But at the same time, you're on fire, ready to dive in. Um, get your, get your key. Like I said, show others how to do it because you're going through whatever you have to go through to show up. You're aiming you're aiming for something, and you're very confident. That energy is fiery. It's new. And you have here sewing and learning a new skill, and very stylish. And then right here, and that was the number 8, and then you have here number 9. People were in 89. Okay, life path number 8 or 9. We have here fear. And that's like the 9 of Swords card. Something's keeping you up. That's confusing your thoughts, not, you know, worried about something. But don't worry because you're in control. As the first card, the worry. You know, go on and cry even if you have to. Like it's okay. Now here at the bottom it says anxiety. Maybe all of this has brought you anxiety to some degree, but this is the moon card. Okay, so don't miss the opportunity or something that's going to be available to you or for you, a right opening or something like that, for you to put something all together. It'll be a perfect time for you to present something, talk about something, something. All right. So, your own pathway, different opportunities to present ways of doing things with your newfound, fiery, colorful, passionate energy. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out which deck I want to use, guys. Give me 1 second. Hmm. For sure, I want to use this deck. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. All right. There we go. So opened it up to the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Right. There's something that you're very passionate about that you want to talk about. That you've been trying to find the right words to say, you know. You could be an influencer. Use your platform wisely. All right, here we go. First deck. Thank you for being patient with me, guys. Okay, the sun. Yes. Let's vibe together, guys. Love it. Beautiful. Vibrant energy. You are a very energetic, like high energetic, like type person. You know, happy a lot, you know. You like to see others happy also. Um, but there's some energy of feeling left out about something or not wanting to be left out about something. And the card that said God chose you. You know, you were the right generational curse breaker of your family to change, like I said, like the energy. Like there's something that your loved ones were not aware of. And their energy was dull or dark or something. So we had that card at the bottom when we got finished the world. So, and yeah, this is a tombstone. You know, like I said, it's something. You could be an influencer of the world, but the world energy is completing a cycle of the old. You're the new. Okay. And there's pentacles falling. So it's something that could be also prosperous or bring in some sort of, generate some sort of income for you. I don't know, something happened. Maybe you received some income when someone passed. Or maybe even, um, you received inheritance when someone passed away, and their way of doing things is you could do what you want to do now or something like that and invest in what you want to invest in. Yeah, because there was lack of color energy, lively energy, light energy, light life, truth. I don't know, in this sphere, but no need to, maybe more so. Always worried about what other people think, or how you're going to be seen. But don't ever worry about that. You are who you are. And all right, yeah, God, there it is. God shows you. God made it happen. Just continue. You are inspiring right here. Inspired or inspiring. And you will influence many with what it is that you present, what your perspective or your whatever you're trying to do. Whatever you're trying to do, you're trying to balance something out. And you're fearing that maybe you don't have enough of something to be received properly or something. I think you're fearing that people won't receive what you're trying to do as love. This is also moving out of the space, from your heart, your intuition. So you maybe just maybe something to do with some unawareness. Um, right, like I said, you're unaware. You're worried. The first card, worried, and because you don't know how others are going to receive this information that you're trying to put down and balance out. Let's say you could be an influencer here as a sword, talking as a cross on, believes in Christ, maybe, Well, I mean, that's what it means, right? What we all think it means. However, let's keep moving. So here with the Queen of Coins in reverse, you're unaware of how stable or how much change you will bring. Don't ever stop being who you are. Okay. And you're not a greedy person. You're not worried about even you're not worried about getting rich off of, information that you're sharing or something like that. With the Five of Cups now, which was the disappointment card that we had when I first started with these cards. Disappointed in the things that you either grew up seeing, hearing something. And there's something with that you don't agree with. And so you're just receiving information on how to do things differently here with the Eight of Swords. So, cause you a lot of sleepless nights. Here we go with the, what's this, 8? Or is this 9? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 9. This is the 9 of Wands, so 9 of Wands in reverse. You don't have that woe is me way about yourself, okay? You're like, hey, life is life, it is what it is. It will be or it won't be. I mean, yeah, I worry, but, it is what it is. Yeah, 9 of Swords. But it really did cause you a lot of mental stress. That's the mental energy up here. Maybe even trying to understand more about yourself. Why you're not like them or something like that. You're doing DNA testing and you're finding out things, or mm-hmm, found out you're even or adopted maybe, like that's why I'm so different. Well, the wheel is turning. This is fate. It's your time to do different. Do different, do different, do different. Now, 5 of Swords here. More anxiety, more worrying. Or, it was just very stressful. A very stressful situation that you had to get through. Or you're learning how to get through it still. 6 of Coins. This could be looked at in a couple ways, of course, like all the cards. You're like, no, this is life. This is a situation. This is what it is. It is not a woe is me situation. We're just going to move forward with what we have the best way we can with the knowledge that we have. And some will receive it, some won't receive it. So you're really about working with others that have like minds, think alike, can see things, as he has his hand there on his head and could see from so many different layers. Um, and also, I mean, that's the best way for anything, a real true friendship, all relationships, you know. Um, should start off as friendships anyway, right? And that's someone we could collaborate with because we have like minds or like minded ideas. So here our last card, we have Nine of Cups. And something's dissatisfying to you, like with the Five is falling right on top of the Five of Cups, so Nine of Cups in reverse. Something that you're not excited about, with the way things were, or something like that. You know, um, but like I said, that even though this is the Moon card at the bottom, the word said anxiety. Here like the Nine of Swords. Just worry. Like the beginning card we have there, worry. You know, but you're not satisfied. You're so unhappy with information that you have or you're holding on to. Excuse me. All right, guys. Excuse me. Here we have it. Here's the second deck. I think it's my only second time using it too. Um, it's only for this table. So anyway, appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so very much. And if you are still here with me right now, thank you guys. Love you guys. I appreciate every single last one of you guys for being here. Thank you. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please and thank you. And of course, only if you like. I appreciate it all. Here's the second deck, guys. Let's see what we get. I also have another channel by the name of What It Do. One word. Tarot. Second word. What It Do Tarot. I do energy reads over there, love reads. After this reading, I'm going to go over to that table and do some readings. So Ophiuchus may pop up. May still resonate with Sag. Sag may pop up. Or if you're Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Scorpio may pop up. So however the case. Or if you like the way I read, and you know someone that is one of those signs, send them my video. All right, guys, here we go. If you think the message is maybe for them. All right, here we go. The devil. So, considering this energy, don't let the devil restrain you in any type of way. Mentally, first and foremost. Four of Cups. Like I said, just upset, disappointed with the energies that are present, the energies that have been. You're waiting on new energies to present themselves. And, like I said, a new code, new higher, more positive frequency or something like that. Now here you have 9 of Wands in the upright, sitting on top of the 9 of Wands in reverse. You're determined to keep pushing through. No, it's no woe is me. You are in tune with your emotions here with the King of Cups. You know exactly how you feel. You got all these 5 of Coins, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. You know, you're tired of, the competitions out here in the world, the energy of, conflict and stuff like that. You're aware of it, but that's what's disappointing you. You're tired of the dark energy. You're trying to incorporate the light. Yep. With justice. Right there, justice. You're here to incorporate the light. That's the title. For you and yours. So speak. Doesn't matter. Streets are talking, let them bark. You're an inspiration. You need to speak, for God chose you to speak, your mind and what's on your heart. Okay? Yeah. No matter what it is that you need to say. I know you're trying to figure out the right words. Some of your words may be a little harsh or hard to swallow, but you come in love, come in peace. You don't want to argue about what it is that you see, feel, or understand. You come from a space of love. You know that. Oh, and there it is. Queen of Cups. You come from a space of love. King or queen. Okay? Masculine or feminine. You're beautiful. Okay? You're a beautiful individual. So, shine your light, my dear. So, here is our third deck. Okay. I split it on 6 of Pentacles, which was this card here with him putting his hand up to his head, and the Queen of Cups. Now, we had the Queen of Cups right here, right? Queen of Cups on reverse. All right. You are very aware of your emotions. You are very aware of what God has given you. You believe in His Word. You work for Him. You are here to shine your light, here to help with the change of the course, changing the course or helping mold it or something, adding a new lane or I don't know, something, I don't know. Take it however you see it or hear it. That's all these 5s that talks about change and the dragonfly. also talks about change. And this is called Spirit Song. But I call this my happy deck because it's good energy. So, good energy to me equals happiness. All right. So, let's try to stay happy. Stay close to the Most High Power by HWH, for He is worthy to be praised. Every day we're here, we're alive, we're well. And we want that to be our environment also. So we have to stand up and stand 10 toes down if that's how we believe it to be. Always work on self first before you can help anyone else. Okay, here we go. Last regular deck before I grab the last 3 cards from Ronin Monday. Here is the work here, 8 of crystals. The dedication that you're putting forward, forth into the incorporation of your energy and the progress, where it will take you or take someone else or collectively us, all of it. I don't know. So who knows how much influence you have, what type of information you come with, who is it reaching, who is it, inspiring. We have your temperance, weighing the energies, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, knowing exactly what to do. Good energy, earth angel energy, here we have it, balancing. Okay, and then we have here six of cups. 6 of Cups talks about reconciliation. Here it says sentiment and joy. 6 of Cups also talks about things from your past or your childhood. Maybe when you're young. Like I said, when you're always young, you always notice you were different, or you gravitated towards a certain topic or something of that nature. A certain culture or whatever. Okay. Yeah, even here with the 10 of Shells in reverse, and this is family. So you could be, that black sheep, lone wolf, the star, basically, the one that shines brighter than everybody else, and they're not on your level. Okay, it says blessings underneath that, and that's difficult too. Like I say, sometimes people don't agree, and you have to move on. But maybe what you have is a blessing, and others don't have it. Okay, so it is what it is. 2 of Acorns is the 2 of Wands, I believe. Hold on a second. Yeah, Wands. So 2 of Wands, like I said, right, pathways. And so you've gotten enough insight from your past, okay, and now you're focused on your way of seeing things. You have awakened, and you're awakening, or soon will be awakening others with your colorful energy. Okay, Judgment. A renewal here. I just caught that renewal. Renewing of the energy. Enlightened. Enlightened with energy and trying to rework it with what you already know or have learned. Said here, learning a new skill. Yeah, starting all over from the beginning here. This is a full card at the bottom. Okay. You have so much potential. Okay. And you are definitely on an adventure, aren't we all? Okay. So that's beautiful. The wheel's turning. You're getting out there, going for what you know. Okay. To do what you believe God had called you to do. Okay. So that's a beautiful thing. And so guys, I believe 20 is I believe 20 is Judgment. I think it is. This deck doesn't even tell me. Hold on, let me see real quick. Yeah. Yep. That is the case. So let's get us here. 3 cards to end this reading. Excuse me. Let's see what we get. Okay. I don't know what this one is. But at the bottom, well, I see a queen here, and I see a pentacle here. So maybe Queen of Pentacles. It says John chapters 7 through 12. So they got something going on here, a little nakedness, but it's that's what we got there. So anyway, I don't know what that is. I want to know what that is. I want to know what it says. Even if it is the Queen of Pentacles or depicted as the Queen of Pentacles, Like I said, it's going to bring some stability somewhere or unite something because that's a man and a woman. Man and woman, as above, so below. Seal of Solomon. Here we have the star. Like I said, right? You have been chosen. You're the light. You're here for the renewing of um, new energy, new frequencies. You, you have the answer. Wait a second. And the last one looks like we have the Ace of Cups. I can't really tell this yet. And then at the bottom, it's Mark chapter 7 through 12. So I'm curious what that is too. Because both of them are 7 through 12. Okay. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So those books are significant. Okay. Why'd I put that in there? That does not go in there. Hold on. Let me get the book. So let's start off with this card. It looks like I said the Queen of Pentacles. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so it says the Queen of Pentacles card is titled John chapter 7 through 12 and shows events from those chapters. The symbols near the number 7 represent the Festival of Tabernacles. Near the number 8 are a nude man and woman embracing. This represents the woman who was caught in adultery, which is a story that is found only in the Gospel of John. The woman is holding a candle because Yeshua, I call him Yahushai, is the light of the world. And that chapter of John contains a debate as to who he was. The eye near the number 9, which is down here, you have the number 9, and then up here was the number 8. Okay. So, however, the eye, which is here, okay, near the number 9 reflects Yeshua or Yahushua restoring the sight of the blind man. The chapter 9 later discusses spiritual blindness. Whoops. Near the number 10 is a shepherd's staff. And chapter 10 of the Gospel of John includes the parable of the good shepherd who was willing to die for his sheep. The skull near the number 11 symbolizes death. Chapter 11 of the Gospel of John addresses the death and resurrection of Lazarus, and ends with the plot to kill Yahushua. The container near the number 12 represents the perfume that Mary anointed Yahushua with to prepare him for his burial. So, and in the background, we have Amber, the song Amber by 311. Amber is the color of your energy. You know, you um, a grounded force. You're beautiful. You're full of softness, divine feminine energy, you know. But here with this card, um, maybe, um, maybe, even for some, just in a small sector of things, you grew up around people in your family that didn't care about cheating on one another, or swingers or something. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is craziness, we shouldn't be doing this and living like this, whatever it is, whatever information that you receive, it's going to be a not a conflict, but you know, um, it's just going to bring awareness. Like I said, it's going to bring awareness to you, and then you're gonna want to bring awareness to others. You're going to want to bring the light, for the information that you found and who it is that you're ready to be or become or whatever. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, he even said here, light. So you're trying to show light, and other people are still trying to debate you about something. And you're so confused as to why it is that you or whomever, on the other end who I'm telling to is not receiving this. Or you're worried as to if they will receive your light that you were trying to incorporate into their lives, basically. So here you have the seal of Solomon, like I said, as a symbol of divine feminine, divine masculine coming together, just like here. So, you know, um, I don't know. Maybe you're also ready to meet your mate or something like that too. Maybe because it does say right here, such a delight to be around. Okay, her invitation to meet the friends and the family. So maybe possibly your light now is attracting someone. I'm not too sure. But here we have the six of, I don't know if that's six of wands. Um, okay. I don't know what this is. I have to find it. Give me just a second. No, this is a pentacle. I'm sitting here looking for it. I had to go to the beginning of the book. Okay, let's see what we find here. Okay, six of pentacles was what we had here. So so you will like it if others work with you to receive this energy or this information or something. So it says here the Six of Pentacles is titled Seal of Solomon. The Star of David, or Seal of Solomon, is a hexagram consisting of the Sephirot of Kether, Shokma, Shazed, Tefereth, Gabora, and Bana. It expresses duality and combines the masculine and feminine triangles discussed in the sections on the 8 and 9 of Pentacles cards. The two triangles contain the alchemist energy of earth, air, fire, and water, and the concept of as above, so below is expressed in the verses inside the circle. What is bound on earth will also be bound in heaven. Matthew 16:19, 18:18, and John 20:23, or 2 Corinthians 2:10. We had a 2 Corinthians today. Yeah, but it was 7 and 1. So anyway, the word Adonai means Lord. And in the Bible is used in place of the tetragrammaton out of reverence for Hashem. At the center of the hexagram are the Hebrew letters that spell Al Shadi, which is God Almighty. I'm not for sure if that's what it really means, but that's what it says here. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, He is the Almighty, and that's what everything should be centered around. The Almighty. Okay, you can't do anything without Him, but you can do everything with Him. Okay, but whatever, to each your own. You understand that, and that's why you're ready to continue to shine. You're a very humble individual here. Number 28, 10 or 1 could be significant also. The 28th path of wisdom connects Yesod and Netzach and is associated with the Star Tarot card. The Star card shows the Shekinah's role as Mother Nature. In the pictorial key to the Tarot, Waite said she was the Great Mother in the Kabbalistic Sephir of Bana, which is supernatural understanding, and communicates to the Sephirot that are below in the measure that they can receive her influx. That was written sometime in 1911. The woman on the card is pouring the water of life on both the land and a body of water. Body of water. This card shows the alchemical distillation process as it functions within nature. Through Mother or nature, water evaporates into the clouds and condensates as it moves over land, where it falls down as rain. Genesis 2 and 5. To replenish the earth. The water being poured onto the land is split into 5 streams, which is the same value as the Hebrew letter He, and represents the spirit or life being given to the earth, Adamah. Growing from the earth are 10 small plants, which represents the 10 Sephirot receiving their influx from the Shekinah, or wisdom, Mother Wisdom. 10 is also the value of this path, 28. breaks down to the 2 plus the 8 breaks or equals to a 10, which also breaks down to just the number 1. Okay, so that is also known as the oneness of God. Deuteronomy 6:4. In the background, there is a golden tree that is the same color as the star and represents the tree of life being infused with the life or the spirit or the breath of the Shekinah. The bird in the tree is another reference to life and the spirit. Birds, like our bird here at the very beginning of this, the message or the reading, we got the hummingbirds on that card. All right. So birds, messages and things like that. So birds in alchemy represent spirit or floating vapor in a gaseous state. The mountain of God can be seen in the distance. Isaiah 56:7. The bird is most likely a pelican. I don't know what this is. Or is that like one of those stork birds? Is that a pelican? Looks like it. Anyhow, well, let's see what the pelican means anyway. You see it back there? Where is it at? There it is. I think that's it. Okay. Okay. So the bird is most likely a pelican, which is the bird of alchemy, as well as the design of a type of alchemical flask. As a flask, the pelican is a vessel used for distillation, which also represents the process. The woman, or Shekinah, which is mother wisdom, or Banah, which is a level of understanding. Mother Nature is engaged on the card. In alchemy, the pelican is often depicted as a mother feeding her young with her own blood, which also alluded to Mother Nature sustaining the world with her own essence. There are 8 stars that have 8 points, which is another reference to the number 10 and the completeness and functioning of God's natural order, which is 8 times 8 is 64. So the 6 plus the 4 equals 10. Okay. The 8-pointed star, like the 8-spoked wheel, is a reference to the spirit or the 5th element and the indwelling glory or hold the 8 sephirah of God. The wise men were led to the birth of the King of the Jews by a star. Matthew 2:1-2. And through the chemical wedding, the spirit of wisdom continues to lead the wise to their salvations. Psalms 143 and 10 and John 16:13. The name Yeshua or Yahushai means he will save. Matthew 1:21. The Hebrew letter associated with this path is Sadi and means fishhook or righteousness. Fish hooks, where was that? It had a card that said fishing out here. I don't know where's that. I remember it. So, someone likes to fish, or you're trying to fish in, pull in, bring them in, bring them to the light. Anyhow, fish hook or righteousness. Fish hooks are used to provide sustenance. Matthew 17-27. Sadi has a value of 90 and is the 18th letter in the Aleph Bet, both of which produce a geometrical value of 9, which connects this path. Well, we had 8 to the 9 also, guys, too. Okay, which connects this path to the attributes of the Shekinah expressed on Yesod, while including the victory of Netzach. The feminine attributes of this path join with the masculine aspects of the sun card. The path connecting Yesod and Hod to the Sephirah of Yesod and making the chemical wedding the marriage of the sun and the moon, a foundational or Yesod aspect of one's spiritual development. So, like I said, you're receiving all this information, confused as to why others from your lineage or whatever aren't receiving. I've had a message like this before, but it was like, your mate. This is just overall in general. There's something that you're here to bring. You're here to bring the light, the color. You're incorporating the light. Okay. So you're incorporating the light and the love of God here with the Ace of Cups. Okay. The awakening, the bringing the energy to the masses. Okay. So here we have Ace of Cups, and you love yourself. Okay. So you love yourself, and you love God, and you love people. So you are here to, like I said, create a new path for people to follow. All right. Here we have it. It says the Ace of Cups is titled Solve e Coagula. Dissolve and coagulate. That's what that means. And includes related images from the Aurora Consurgens, or the rising dawn, and the Le Splendor Solis, or the brightness of the sun. It shows the black stage of alchemy, where the king and queen are beheaded, as in the chemical wedding of Christian Rosenkreutz, Kreutz, which seemed to Christian Rosenkreutz to be a very bloody wedding. However, the dark symbolism serves only as a metaphor to describe the process. Like I said, you have all this dull or dark energy, or people that you grew up with, or and they haven't been enlightened like you, or they haven't come across the same type of information as you, or something, and you've always been different, and you're trying to help others see things from your colorful perspective. Okay. So it's only symbolism here. Okay. So it serves only as a metaphor to describe the process. So before the alchemy, before you changing the energy of things, right? Before the alchemy process can begin, the plant or substance must be broken apart before its essence can be extracted. Okay. So something has to be broken down to get something out of it first, before you can reprogram it, or, download something else, or, you have to get rid of something before you can redo it over or whatever, you know. Take out all the junk and then fill it up with something good, you know. So Before you can begin the process, okay, the plant or the substance must be broken down or broken apart before its essence can be extracted. Okay. Um, unless a grain of wheat dies, it cannot be reborn into new life. Okay. Renewal, renew, refresh, new energy. You know, out with the old, in with the new. I mean, even if you're taking something that's good out of the plant, you still have to, you know, I don't know, get it out, however whatever it is that you're obtaining and getting out of something. I mean, I guess if it's something good, like I said, like remedies or something from the past, of course, you'll take all that out. You'll take what's needed or what's necessary, what's good out, and you throw the rest away. And then fill it back up with newly refreshed, regenerated, whatever, new energy, and give it back, fill it back up. But however the case, let's finish reading this. So unless a grain of wheat dies, it cannot be reborn into new life. John 8 and 24, or 12 and 24. Or 1 Corinthians 15 and 36. Before the purified parts can be recombined, they first must be separated. So it's like, separating the wheat from the tares. You have to separate the good from the bad. They will not merge. If, you know, I'm going to just go there, okay? One of the laws, you shouldn't eat pork. So you have a friend or someone, a colleague, someone or a friend, a cousin, whatever, that still wants to go and eat, pork, and they invite you out to eat, and maybe they don't know for whatever reason. They don't know that eating pork is really not that good for you, and it's a law in the Bible that you shouldn't eat it. And they either they don't know, they don't care, they don't follow like how you're trying to follow or learn or whatever, and they ask you, oh, you want to go out and eat, and you're like, okay, that'll be nice, what do you plan on, eating? Or, oh, I found this new, I don't know, hot dog stand, hot dog, all they serve is, pork hot dogs, or, and you're like, no, I can't really, go. And they're like, you used to love hot dogs. You're like, yeah, well, I can't do that anymore. So you kind of not totally separate yourself, but that if you're not going to stop eating, I can't even go out to eat with you, because you're not going to really eat the same things I like or whatever, So, I mean, it really kind of comes down to that in a sense of, if the energies really align, who is on what side of things and what realms and what areas and all of that in between. Okay. So, like I said, it's something that you're here to bring. You're here to incorporate your light. You're here to incorporate what it is that you see and understand now. More so, I'm going to just say about God, and the Bible and all of the different things that are going on and being talked about at this time, containing subject matter of, nationalities and things like that. Okay. So, continue to be exactly who God made you to be, because He made us all of us. Okay. We have to answer to Him at the end of the day. So, thank you guys so very much. All praises to the Most High Power, YHWH, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.